rolling. It's recording.
She was so
recording. All right. All right, welcome back. We have a special guest with us. We have the women's flag football team. Ladies, how you doing?
Good.
Well, good success this season. Talk to me about how you guys feel about the season so far.
I think we're feeling pretty good. Yeah, going into the KCAC tournament, I think we're confident.
I think the season overall, definitely has a lot of, pressures with dealing. Obviously, we're defending the national championship from last year, but I think going into it, Coach tells us, we're not defending anything. It's a new year. We just got to attack and just keep playing football and do our thing.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about those pressures. I know that, nobody on this campus has really dealt with that, being defending national champions and such. So how have you guys kind of managed that throughout the year?
I feel like we always put the pressure on ourselves to condition more. We always try to get the extra work in and everything. And our coach always says a hitch on the field out there on Advent is the same hitch that you're going to run in the Mercedes-Benz where we're fighting for the championship. So it's really hard. A lot of the pressure comes from ourselves, really.
And I know something that helps me get through the pressure is knowing that this pressure is a privilege. I can't remember, Miss Jen taught us that. Some coach said that somewhere. But I know if we didn't have this pressure, that means we wouldn't have done anything to, deserve this pressure. So I'd rather have it than not have anything.
Then looking forward, I know a lot of accolades behind you guys, but looking to add some more hardware ahead of you guys. How are you guys preparing for tomorrow?
I think a lot of it is just making sure we're good in ourselves, because we spend a lot of time actually away from each other doing our own thing with our own groups, and it's very important for us to make sure that we're able to come together as one on game day.
What's the biggest hardships you guys have had to come over this year? I know you guys lost 2 in Florida. What kind of ups and downs have you had to ride this year?
Yeah, I would definitely say that trip to Florida was definitely what you would consider the low of our season. I don't really like to think of it like that because I'd like to think of it more of a learning experience. But yeah, that was tough and it's hard with the KCAC schools. We just played the same 4 schools over and over again, and we don't get that good test from the Florida schools as much as we would like to. So I'm glad we at least get that one experience going over there at spring break.
Not only that, but I feel like it's hard for a lot of us mentally to keep pushing after that. And we've had a lot of team talks after and just trying to increase our morale as a team and just keep pushing for each other and really find our why again, because as a team, we don't really see L's a lot. We don't lose that much. And so seeing 2 L's in Florida, that was really hard for us. And just coming back together even stronger.
For me, I feel like it just shows how much this game of flag football is growing. I think it's amazing to see the style in Florida compared to the style in the Midwest. And, we're just going to learn from it and come from there. I think there's a lot of benefits and positives that we can take from the loss. We could either stay down and look at it and, think, oh, we're not good enough to compete with people in the non-conference. But why would we think that? We have to keep elevating the game and set the standard. And just because, you get knocked down once doesn't mean we're not going to come back from it.
Speaking on that, we asked your coach the same question. Where would you guys like to see the sport in 5 years?
I would like to see, I feel like in 5 years it's going to grow through colleges more. It's going to be way more colleges with the sport, maybe even seeing it go D3 or D2 and growing, just growing throughout college. And the Olympics in 2028, they're already talking about having it there. That's huge. I can only imagine what it's going to be like for colleges.
And then is that your guys' goal? I know you've played flag football. Is that the goal to be in there, to coach? You thinking maybe a longer career in flag football?
I feel like a goal of mine was always to eventually, I want flag football to be D1, and I want to coach at the Division I level. I know Abby wants to coach, maybe we'll get a competition here and there, and she wants to compete against each other, or maybe we'll compete against coach. That's always a joke around practice that maybe one day. Also, we have a teammate on our team. She's from Canada, that's Clara, and she always jokes about competing against us Americans, so it's great to see that maybe we'll reach that in the future.
going forward, what are you guys doing mentality-wise to prepare for not only this tournament, but to try to bring home some more national championships?
I would say we're taking it one game at a time, focusing on each practice and then the game that's ahead of us. If we focus too far ahead, we're going to get in our heads about it, so we need to take one game at a time and then work from there.
And like Madison said earlier, focusing on us, what we do, perfecting our game before we worry about our opponents.
And more stuff behind the scenes too, like working on our team chemistry and, fixing all the little things before we hit the field.
Yep.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's us versus us. If we, pay too much attention to the rankings or pay too much attention to the outside factors or haters or doubters or people saying whatever they want about us, that's when we'll ultimately fail if we succumb to those voices. And the only voices that should matter are the ones next to us, which is our team, our family, our coaches, and the people that actually support us. And at the end of the day, if we really hone into that, I feel like that's where we'll be the most successful.
Well, congratulations on your guys' successes already, and hopefully more to come. I'm sure we're going to come out and support you guys this weekend. So good luck going forward.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Braves baseball playing one series this week, going on the road to Bethany. Game number 1 would be a little bit of a fight back as the Braves took a 1-0 deficit. But coming up in the 6th inning, they put up 4 runs in the 6th and 1 in the 7th to come out victorious 5-2. Tyler Farnham, Holland Bone, and Carson Johnson had 2 hits apiece, with Nicholas Sizemore leading the way for the Braves in terms of RBIs with 2. And Stephen Orell would complete the game with his 7th victory of the season, striking out 8 and only allowing 1 earned run. Game number 2 would be more offense from the Braves as they would score 3 runs in the 1st, 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 6th, and 3 runs in the 8th to put up 11 runs, the most they put up in the series, to win the game 11-4. Jonah Weisner and Holland Bone led the Braves with 3 hits apiece, while Connor Jeffers collected 3 RBIs. Tyler Bryant pitched 5 2/3 innings, striking out 8 to get the victory. Game 2 would be a collective pitching effort from the Braves, with Hector Sepulveda not getting the start. It would be Josh Perez, Jeremy Husband, Austin Warfel, and Creed Jeffers that would combine for all 7 innings, only giving up 2 runs in the 7-2 victory. Jonah Weisner and Holland Bone would lead with 3 hits, and Weisner would collect 3 hits and in 4 at-bats, scoring 1 and driving in 3. Logan Zazaya would have 2 RBIs and 2 hits, and Josh Perez started the game going 2 2/3 innings and striking out 2. Softball with 2 series this week, taking on Avila and Kansas Wesleyan. Game number 1 in Avila would go to the Eagles. Ottawa was not able to rally as Avila put up 5 runs and lost the game number 1 5-2. Riley Newbold was a perfect 3 for 3 at the plate, driving in 1 run as Kason Rasmussen pitched 6 innings in the loss, striking out 3. Game number 2 would go to the Braves as Allison Kearney would go 3 for 4 at the plate, scoring 1 run and driving in 3, while Amber Flummerfelt pitched 6 in the 3rd innings, striking out 8. Coming back home for the second series of the week for softball, taking on the Coyotes of Kansas Wesleyan. Game number 1 would be a fight as neither team would blink until the 9th inning when 1 run would come across in the top half for the Coyotes, and the Braves would rally at the bottom half of the inning for 2 runs in the 9th for a walk-off victory. Kason Rasmussen earned her 14th victory of the season, pitching all 9 innings, striking out 4 and allowing only 2 hits. Game number 2 would see the Braves beat the Coyotes in a run rule fashion, putting up 8 runs after just putting up 2 in 9 innings in the previous game. Alexis Cerna and Allison Kearney had 2 hits apiece, with Kearney collecting a home run early in the game. The Braves would win 8-0 as Amber Flummerfelt would earn her 6th victory of the season, striking out 7 in the Game 2. Ottawa 26-11-1 and 16-4 in the KCAC returned to the Diamond on April 23rd against Bethel. Men's lacrosse in the KCAC tournament this week, facing off against Midland in the quarterfinal. The Braves would take the lead in the second quarter and not look back, putting up 3 goals in the second, 5 goals in the third, and 4 goals in the fourth for 13 total goals. Jake Nornberg led the Braves with 4 goals and 3 assists as Brandon DeMarco and Vincent DeMarco added 2 goals apiece, while Vincent also dished out 2 assists. The Braves would take that momentum and try to move on against Benedictine in the semifinals. The Braves would have to battle back from the jump as the Benedictine Ravens would put up 6 goals in the first quarter. The goal scoring would not stop for the Ravens as they put up 5 goals in the second, 4 goals in the third, and 3 goals in the fourth and the Braves were fighting back the entire game. The Braves would fall short 18-12, concluding their season, as Vince DeMarco led the Braves with 4 goals and 2 assists. The Braves had a 23-11 advantage on faceoffs, but lost the game and concluded their season in the semifinals. Women's lacrosse, also in the KCAC tournament, took on William Penn and Benedictine this week. Taking on first William Penn in the quarterfinal, the Braves would pull out to a very secure victory, putting up 7 goals in the first quarter, 4 goals in the second, 3 goals in the third, and 2 goals in the fourth for 16 total. Cecily Anderson would lead the way with 7 goals in the contest as the Braves look to continue their good fortunes going into the semifinals. The Braves would be met with Benedictine, who was ranked in the top 10. The Ravens would put up 10 goals in the first quarter, and the Braves would be chasing the entire game as the Ravens put up 23 goals to the Braves' 7. Cecily Anderson led the Braves in scoring in the semifinal contest with 3 goals, but the Braves would fall short, ending their season in the semifinal. Men's golf, wrapping up their season in the KCAC Championship, would place 5 golfers in the top 50 and finish 7th overall with a final 4-round score of 13-20. Cameron Cross would earn all KCAC tournament honors, finishing 6th overall. And that's going to wrap up episode number 18, the last episode of the year. Thank you so much for everybody who's participated, come in and given us their time, coming on for interviews and promoting this show as much as possible. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. From Brendan Groh, from Olivia Kloster, I want to thank everybody for all their time. I want to thank you for tuning in. Please like and share this video. But from everyone here, I'm Blake Griffin, signing off.